Argentina just elected a pro-Bitcoin president. What does this mean? What's going to happen in Argentina? Argentina, which has just been a basket case economically for some time. Argentina has been facing vast amounts of inflationary pressures, 140%. In fact, it is the only South American country I know that has failed to bring inflation under control, where it's completely out of control, or just entirely out of control. The new Argentinian president-elect, Javier Milei, won nearly 56% of the vote, and his whole platform that he campaigned on was obviously the economy. He was looking at the economy, and everybody's dealing with 140 some odd percent inflation. They're expecting that inflation rate, by the way, to hit 200% by the end of the year. Right? That's outrageous. 40% of people live below the poverty line in Argentina, and so it's pretty simple for a presidential candidate to start talking about the economy and say, I'm going to fix the economy. That's what everybody wants to hear, right? And I'm not going to be corrupt like all these other people are. So he says that, in essence, the new president-elect says he plans to battle the nation's inflation by getting rid of the peso. He wants to get rid of the Argentinian peso. He wants to shut down the nation's central bank. He wants to adopt the U.S. dollar as the national currency. And if they do, and that, by the way, that's going to be tough. They're going to need money, by the way, much more money than they have right now to be able to pull that off. They're going to need 30, 40 billion bucks. And plus, they've already been detached from the global economic system, which has also been a big part of their problem. So, if Argentina somehow manages to get rid of its peso, shut down its central bank, and then dollarize, well, it would be like some of the other countries in the area, like Ecuador, Panama, and then also the other pro-Bitcoin president who runs El Salvador. So, we already have use cases of this across South America, and we've seen that dollarization can provide some economic stability, especially when you have very, very corrupt governments down there that are just, screwing the pooch when it comes to the central bank and printing money and all of this, or messing with interest rates and doing it for corrupt reasons. Because the United States has so much artificial inflation for its dollars that it can kind of weather the corruption better than smaller countries, which don't have that same internationalization of their currency. So people aren't beating down the door to get an Argentinian peso. So if they print too many, what are they going to do with them? It's going to cause massive inflation, so that they can't print their way out of problems down there, So, and that's what they've been trying to do. The new president-elect, we're going to see what happens here. There's a lot, of course, because he's a right-wing leader, like everybody on the right, it just assumes that he's going to be wonderful. We really live in a Pepsi versus Coke society, kind of like red and blue. Like if you're red, well, then you're really good, or if you're blue, you're terrible, or vice versa. If you're blue, you're wonderful. And so right-wingers all over the world are like, hey, yay, one of us is in Argentina. That means everything's going to be great. Okay, well, we should all be grown-ups by now, huh? I mean, we should all know better than this. So that's not really how it works. But anyway, aside from that, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in Argentina. If you look at the stock market, they certainly like it. I mean, the investors like this. They like the fact that, somebody's been elected who's going to do something, because it's been a tough environment. Now, you see, Argentina's been rising. And in fact, you may even see Argentina in the top rankings in the ETF leaders. We've had it up there, in fact, near the top a couple of times. Why? Why would the Argentinian stock market be elevated when you have all this massive inflation and corruption and all of this? Well, remember, friends, this is a perfect example to always remember that the economy is not the stock market. Right? This is what happened to so many in 2022 and 2023, where many people began bailing on the U.S. stock market because they said, oh, the economy's bad, so the stock market has to go down. And we've been trying to explain to you since for the last 15 years that it's the mega corporations that are going to survive. It's not the governments that are going to survive. It's the mega corporations. Apple is sitting on, I don't know how many billions of dollars, right? Chevron's sitting on billions of dollars. Berkshire Hathaway's sitting on billions of dollars. Okay. The government has taxing power, but it's broke. Okay. So yeah, they're going to have problems. They're going to have issues. The people who are dependent upon the government are going to have problems. Well, that's the whole point of our book. But if you think that because the government has problems, that suddenly these mega corporations are not going to figure a way to succeed, well, you just got to go back to school here. You got to realize that you got to go back. You got to think about this, right? Who survives? Who dies? And it's not going to be these big, massive corporations. They will wear you down in court. They got a team of lawyers that, if the government wants to come after them, just try to come after these big, massive corporations, right? It's very, very difficult, right? So they're going to survive. Now, maybe not all of them, but many of them will. Okay, so, and Argentinians know this. That's why they're piling into the stock market, because their peso's going down in value. So they need to put the money somewhere. And so that's what happens. So many people think, oh, the economy is so bad, so I have to sell all my stocks. And you think, no, that's not even connected. That's not even a connection point you can even make. So anyway, long story short, the stock market is not the economy. The economy is not the stock market. Argentina, case in point.